let's load this preset. Just an octave higher or lower. Clicking the chord's preset name brings up the browser where you can filter by genre, type, style, and set. Or if you don't know what you're looking for, just roll the dice and a random preset will be loaded. Let's randomize the chord presets and also change the instrument that we're using. If there's a specific key or scale that you want, clicking here lets you select different options. If you click the lock icon, this locks in the key, so when you're randomizing, all of the chords will be in that key. Hovering your mouse over one of the circles reveals additional options. You can randomize each chord slot independently, browse for single chords, or even record your own chords to create a custom chord progression. Just click record and then play the chord that you want, and then click the next slot record button and play another. We'll do this a few more times, and now if I play it back, this is my own custom chord progression. To create more movement within the chords, we have strum and humanize. Increasing the strum value, this will lengthen the time between each note, and you can either have it be strummed up or strummed down. Humanize humanizes the playing, making it sound more natural. You can customize this setting more by changing the timing, changing velocity of each note, or even skipping certain notes. If you want to use the MIDI for another instrument, you can drag the MIDI of each chord or all 7 independently into your DAW. In the settings, there are a few options. One option is to turn on or off chord names. This is a great way to learn chords and different progressions. Playable range is what notes on the keyboard trigger the chords. By default, it's set to C1 to C4 because depending on the sound that you're using, playing a dense chord with low notes can just make it sound muddy. Currently, we're set on simple, but in advanced, the lower octave selects the chords in the set, and the other keys are the playable range. Let's load up a new sound and load phrases. Triggering different phrases is just like the chords tool. Each white key launches a new phrase. You can use the phrase browser to select different styles or use randomize to select one for you. You can also change the root note and the key in the upper right. To create different variations of the phrase, we have a handful of controls. Rotate will rotate all of the notes so it plays back from a different starting point. Invert changes which notes play the parts of the phrase. You can adjust the length of the phrase, add swing, change the tempo, or control dynamics, which can be controlled by the mod wheel, velocity, or a combo of both. If you ever need to reset the phrase back to its original setting, just click the reset icon here. The global switch determines if certain functions like randomize affect all of the phrase slots or just one. When I click randomize, the rotate and invert knobs change for all of the slots. If I turn off global, only the two knobs on the current phrase are changed. This comes into play with the editor tools as well. By clicking the pencil here, this brings up additional phrase editing options such as time, pitch, and velocity, and clip playback. When global is enabled, I can randomize the editing options and it affects every slot. If it's disabled, it's just the currently selected phrase. If you want to make additional edits to the phrase or use the MIDI for another instrument, you can also drag it into your DAW. One of the most powerful features of KONTACT is the ability to combine multiple instruments. The Combine tab gives you a separate area to find these layered sounds. Just like instruments, you can filter by brand, sound type, or character. Combine presets are indicated by the 3 horizontal lines in the presets list. In Combined, there is also this option Show Tool Enhanced Only. These are combined presets that utilize either the chords or the phrase tool, which are indicated by the note and horizontal lines. The instrument that's currently loaded is called Conflux, which is a new hybrid instrument. Conflux offers real-time sound manipulation powered by wavetables, including the coveted original PPG wavetable. This gives you unmatched modulation capabilities, enabling you to overcome certain limitations with sampling. Let's listen to a few more examples of Conflux. With combined presets, you're not just limited to a tool and an instrument. What you can do is double-click the plus sign here, and then you can add any KONTACT library you have installed on your computer. I can load up something like 40's very own keys, and then I can keep adding more instruments. They don't just have to be from native instruments, but they can be from any KONTACT library on your computer. You can mute or solo instruments, adjust panning and volume, or change the order of them. Let's add Jacob Collier Audience Choir, and then also Metropolis Arc 5 by Orchestral Tools. Let's listen to a few more examples. A new type of player within KONTACT is called Leap. Leap is where you can find curated expansions that come with kits that allow you to play exciting combinations of loops and samples, and use its sample engine to create even your own kits. It's essentially a sampler inside of a sampler. Many of the features in Leap were accessible under the hood in KONTACT, but we've brought them to the front in an easy and playable way. This is great for overcoming writer's block or adding to an existing track. Clicking the Leap tab shows you all of your installed expansions. Each expansion covers a certain genre, sound, mood, or type of instrument to inspire your productions or add some of that special sound to them, with many more to come. Using a Leap expansion is super easy, yet it has a ton of powerful tools for customization. Each kit is preloaded with 16 sounds, all in key, and the white keys represent the 16 slots for playback. You can set different quantized values, so when you trigger multiple samples, they'll be triggering on beat. Just note that you'll need to begin playback in your project in order for quantize to be enabled. The black keys are different types of performance effects that you can use. All of these parameters can be changed by clicking Perform Effects, or change which key and effect it's assigned to. In addition to the performance effects, each kit has 8 macro knobs for applying additional effects. There's also a global effect send for delay and reverb, which you can adjust here. While in group mode, each key will trigger a different sample. If I click single or the piano icon below a slot, it now lets me play it on the keyboard. I can have it in scaled mode, so I'm always playing in whatever key I have set below. The real fun with Leap is being able to create your own kits, and now in KONTACT 8, you can access all of your expansions. Clicking either loops or one-shots, this shows me all of the loops or one-shots within my expansions. Just like instruments, I can filter for sound type or character. Leap also lets you create your own kits, so I can drag any of these loops or one-shots from the browser directly into Leap to create something. Let's create our own kit. I'll first create a new Leap kit, and then go to Loops. In my list, I can select any expansion. Let's find a drum loop. Just select it and drag it into any of the slots. Now we see a ton of editing options for this particular sample. This page can always be accessed with the Edit button here. The Engine tab is for the settings of the engine or playback of the sample. Select options for playback like Classic, Melody, or Beats. Or choose if you want the sample to play only when you hold the key, or latch when pressing a key starts it and pressing it again stops. The window above lets you see the waveform of the loop or one-shot. You can adjust the start and end points as well as the loop points for further refinement. There's also a visible grid so you can see how things line up. You can also turn on or off snap so the loop points or sample start-stop is snapped to the grid. Under the Sound tab, this is where you can manipulate the sound, adjust filter types and settings, attack and release, or if you want this sample to be affected by the delay or reverb send amounts. Take this creativity one step further and combine tools like chords and phrases with Leap. As you can see in KONTACT 8, there are tons of new tools to help spark creativity and improve your workflow. Give it a try for yourself at nativeinstruments.com, and thanks for watching.